So what's on the agenda today?
Like every day. Hunting vampires.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nurse New Bully. Me host Leroy, aka the Donut Glazer, with my co-hosts.
This is Eli, aka IG80HD.
There you go. I realize, Eli, no matter what we say, people are going to take it sexual. So at the beginning of it, so might as well let the mind wander. Yeah, and we're back with another episode, and yeah, we just want to start it with it. It's a slow week. It's a slow week, but we have a show. I looked at the notes. We got a full show.
We always got something.
Yeah, because you know why? Because crazy shit always happens at the end of the week. So no matter what happens, we're gonna have something to talk about. If nothing else, we got comics. So yeah, we just jump into it. We're just gonna start off with pay our respects to some actors that passed. And honestly, I don't even think this is everybody. I think this is just who I know of at the time. The other people I saw on the list, I was like, I've never heard of you. So I don't know. But we want to talk about this. We want to talk about Olivia Newton-John. Eli wants me to take point on this because obviously he was an Olivia Newton-John fan. I'm like,
I know who she is.
Like, are you a millennial or something?
I saw Grease once.
Okay. Oh, she was only in Grease 1. Like I said, Grease 2, that was Michelle Pfeiffer. So yeah, playing a role. Like I said, this is Olivia Newton-John. Yeah, talk about briefly about Olivia Newton-John. Like I said, she done a lot of stuff. She was a triple threat. You know, that was rare around that time. You know, she sing, dance, act, did everything. Anytime you turn around, she was doing something. She was always singing. She had like so many albums. I can't remember all the albums out there. Like I said, she was in Grease. You know, that was her biggest role. One of the biggest things about that role was that she was also in John Travolta, where she was playing the good girl, the goody two shoes, you know. And then at the end, bam, the bad girl.
Uh-oh.
You know, this is where our love for toxic women started, right here, Eli, right here at this moment. You know,
was it? I don't know. For me, it was Janet Jackson in the Pleasure Principle video.
That was a decade later. That was a decade later. You know, Olivia Newton-John got you ready for Janet Jackson. You know, like I said, she was America's sweetheart, even though she was Australian. You know, that's the thing. She was also in this weird movie, Eli. Everybody knows Grease. Everybody knows Grease. Grease is a thing. But do you remember Xanadu?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
You've never seen it. I've seen it.
No.
This movie proves.
What's the score? Slap a score on it.
Xanadu? Man, I don't know how to slap a score on it because after I watched it, I was like, what the fuck did I watch? That's the thing. I was like, it's a roller skating space sci-fi fantasy musical. So do with that what you will. She had a video at the end of it. It was a thing. It just proves that everybody that made entertainment in the 80s was on cocaine. That Xanadu is the proof. Just go watch Xanadu. And also,
was it in the 80s? I thought it was in the 70s.
1980. So it was right there, right on the cusp of it. Yeah, so it set the tone.
Disco,
you know,
cocaine,
disco, roller skating. Roller skating was huge in the 80s. And Xanadu was all about roller skating, you know. But honestly, Eli, none of that is what I know Olivia Newton-John for the most. Not Grease, not Xanadu, not all that stuff. Like this is what I know Olivia Newton-John from. This first time I heard of her. Physical. Because remember, she was kind of like a teeny bopper in the 70s. You had this good girl image. So she decided to jump on the physical craze. Because for those that went in the 80s, if you don't know, the 80s was when America wanted to get fit. It was all about fitness then. You had like big dudes like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Lou Ferrigno, hell, Hulk Hogan. You know, all they do right here. So they're like, I want to get swole. I want to get fit.
The 20-minute workout.
Everybody had a workout tape. Everybody.
20-minute introduced me to porn.
What?
Don't you remember the 20-minute one? This is before your time. Is it before your time?
Okay, yeah. I was like, well, I don't know where we're going with this.
You never seen the 20-minute workout where the chicks just work? It's just like soft glow and chicks like bending over for 20 minutes, and it was on TV.
No,
I remember seeing it. Before I knew what a boner was. I think I'd say, "Oh, my wiener's growing," but I didn't know that it was called a boner. But I knew it was doing something to me, but I didn't know why. Well, I'm like,
Was it actually a porno, or was it just like a commercial?
It was a workout show. It came on every day. It was a 20-minute workout. Hot chicks and spandex and leg warmers.
Okay,
bending over and doing squats for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm with you. 4 o'clock afternoon. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I was a little kid watching it, going, "Damn, this is brilliant," and I don't know why.
Because Jane Fonda had those workout tapes. Everybody had workout tapes.
Yeah.
But like I said, Olivia Newton-John wanted to jump on the craze also. She wanted to jump on the Let's Get Physical tape. And anytime you went to the gym or you worked out, you heard this song in the background. This song was huge. But here's the thing, Eli. Listening to those lyrics, she's talking about sex. And I didn't realize that. The whole song is about sex. I'm like, damn.
You sure? Or is it just how you're taking it?
Okay, I understand. I got a fucked up mind. I get that. Like, I hear shit that other people don't hear. But no, if you break down these lyrics and listen to the lyrics,
she's talking about fighting.
Physical, right? Because she may watch the Rocky movie and she was like, "Yeah, like no." She's talking about fucking in that song. It's about sex. There is you go to Wikipedia or wherever, Genius or whatever you want to go. Break down those lyrics. Look at the lyrics. She is talking about nothing else but sex in that song. It ain't about being physical. It ain't about getting in shape. No, she wants to work out. She wants to hear your body talk.
Yeah, well, that's what every radio song is about. Every radio song on the radio is about sex or love or wanting to fuck or not fucking or being sad because you're not fucking anymore. Longing to fuck somebody. That's every song on the radio,
except for one song, Prince, "I Will Die for You." He's talking about Jesus in the song.
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah.
You sure? I thought he wanted to fuck. Well, not
no.
Jesus,
he's talking about Jesus. He's talking about God in that song. It's a gospel song.
Is it?
Yes.
No way.
You got to listen to the lyrics. Anyway, we getting off subject.
So what's Darling Nikki about?
No, he's talking about fucking on that. Oh man. Okay, but rest in peace to Olivia Newton-John. Like I said, she go. Okay, so we can move on past that. Now this is not that one. I might have been on the wrong person the whole time. Let's see. Wait, did I make one? Oh, I didn't make it. Anyway, we're gonna go to this. Want to say rest in peace to Anne Heche also, but it's a weird one because we're saying rest in peace, but she technically might not even be dead yet.
I thought she was.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so California has some weird rules, so they took her off life support today, like a few hours ago, and they say the moment you take you off life support in California, you're already declared legally dead, regardless of what your body does. So it's eventually going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. But legally, she's declared dead, so we're just gonna go with that. So anyway, rest in peace to Anne Heche. Want to talk about Anne Heche for a second? Now, Eli, I know you're somewhat familiar with Anne Heche, right?
I am. I know who. I know who she is. I've seen.
Okay,
her.
Tons of movies, actress, all stuff like that. People say she lived a controversial life. She had a controversial death. Her death, I'm not going to get into it, but it will be a topic of discussion for bigger podcasts than us in the future. We're not going to go there. I do want to say some things that she was known for. Like I said, she was known for, I just want to show a picture of her. Like I said, it's her. In the 90s, it was a weird time. The 90s was a weird time. Just like the 80s was a weird time, 90s was a weird time because that was the time when we found out that Ellen DeGeneres was gay. Believe it or not, before that, we didn't know. Think how weird that was, that there was a time that we didn't know Ellen DeGeneres was gay. Just looking at her,
yeah. And when it finally came out, it was like a shitstorm.
Oh, it was everywhere. It was like, what? Like,
yeah. And like, yeah. If there was a Facebook back then,
it was everywhere. It was everywhere. But the thing was, people don't remember that when she came out, her first girlfriend that she came out with was Anne Heche. Mm-hmm. People forget that. And man, they were huge. They were the couple at the time. People never seen an open lesbian Hollywood couple before. That just new. They were so big, like that. You know what happened that night. I'm just 90s kids know. But yeah. But that's the thing about Anne Heche. So like I said, she was So she kind of kicked down the doors and barriers. She was kind of like an LGBT icon just because she hitched her wagon to Ellen at the time. But she was even weirder because, okay, we didn't know Ellen DeGeneres was gay, but then at the same time, we saw Anne Heche with dudes and shit like that. So like, wait a minute, when you just with a woman? I'm bisexual. You're what? The fuck is that? We didn't even know what that was at the time. Like, you can be with a man and a woman?
There was no Pornhub. We didn't have those categories back then.
Right. We didn't know that shit. You could just isolate it and that's it. We didn't know. We thought you had to choose. It's an assignment. You're like, okay, you went that way, you stay that way. You can't flip-flop and go back and forth and like, okay, yeah. So, yeah, she's an LGBT icon along with Ellen. So, yeah. And plus, she was a great actress also. She was in like a shit ton of movies. I'm not going to name all shit she was in. You have seen her before. She's been in plenty of movies. Yeah. Yeah. So I can say about that. She played Lois Lane one time, and but good.
Did she? Okay. In what? Lois and Clark?
Not in like a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One of those million DC cartoons she did. But yeah.
Well, I'll just say this. I mean, yes, good journey to her. But I'll just say shout out to Salman Rushdie. It's fucked up what happened to him the other day, and I guess he's now recovering. So glad he's pulling through.
Who is that?
Salman Rushdie is that novelist that got he wrote that Satanic Verses book back in the late 80s, and it pissed off a bunch of extremist Muslims. Like Ayatollah Khomeini put a hit out on him, and he had to like live in like hiding for like a long time because people were trying to assassinate him for writing this book that showed religious figures in a controversial light. And he was under like in hiding for a lot of his life. Well, on Friday he did a talk at a college in New York or whatever, and somebody rushed the stage and stabbed him in the neck.
Wow.
He did survive, and he's I guess he's recovering. So,
but is he stable or?
I guess he is. He went through a bunch of surgeries, and he's basically stabilized now. So
wow.
Shout out to him and for speaking his mind and freedom of speech. Everyone takes freedom of speech for granted, and it just goes to show that extreme religious extremists have been around for a long time. We're seeing that's kind of coming up lately. People kind of trying to make religion into sort of a laws and he was a victim of it now. I mean, he's been a victim of it of his whole life. I mean, he had to be in hiding because he pissed off all these religious fanatics who wanted to kill him over religion, over who created the earth. It's pretty stupid when you think about it, but he's pulling through. And so shout out to Salman Rushdie, speedy recovery. Keep your head up.
Okay. All right. So now we actually get into the show. I think we're done with the preliminary parts of it. We saw a movie. Well, Eli, you saw a movie. You told me to go watch a movie, and I watched the movie after I got off work today. I watched it right before we got on this podcast, so it's still like fresh in my mind. And what we're going to talk about is not Olivia Newton-John. Why I keep coming back to that. This Day Shift. We're going to talk about Day Shift. For those who don't know what Day Shift is, it is a Netflix movie that came out this weekend. It is starring Jamie Foxx. He's in the movie, and Snoop Dogg and Dave Franco. Not the one that's been canceled. His brother. His brother is cool as far as we know. And other people I don't know, but they were in there. So yeah. But Eli, I'm gonna let you start off because, like I said, we have a rule. Like I said, this is technically in your wheelhouse in there, but I'll put my 2 cents in when I think about it.
Okay. Oh, because it's horror.
It's horror, but not horror. It's not like it's scary. It wasn't scary no shit like that.
No,
but
it
just saying it was. Yeah. No. Like not even a little bit. But yeah.
No, this is a horror action comedy.
Horror action dark comedy type. Yeah.
Yeah. So. It's basically about vampire killers. Mm-hmm. It's Jamie Foxx plays like a vampire hunter who is trying. It's a standard plot. Vampire hunter. He's trying to raise money. He gets paid to kill vampires and sell their fangs. And he's trying to raise money for his daughter's school. It's got a stupid basic plot, but you don't really give a shit about the plot. It's all about the action. Yeah, he's trying to get money, raise money. He's being, I guess there's a union of vampire slayers that he belongs to. He's being threatened.
Or I think he got fired, and
yeah, they're threatening to kick him out of the union of vampire hunters because he doesn't play by the rules. So they send like an agent with them to sort of, monitor him throughout his work shifts, and he's played by James Franco. Is it? Right?
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco, whatever. Yeah,
right. James is canceled. But
well, yeah, okay, yeah, the Franco boy, little Franco.
Right.
And they just go on and they go about killing vampires, and he ends up killing the wrong vampire, and all the other vampires are hunting him, and it doesn't matter. It's all about the action and the vampire killing, which this movie has plenty of. It's just, I mean, I had a blast watching it. I thought it was a lot of fun. The action scenes were dope. It had callbacks to like all your basic vampire flicks, Blade, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, elements of From Dusk Till Dawn, John Carpenter's Vampires, which is basically a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn. But it had 30 Days a Night. All your standard vampire lore is just sandwiched into this movie, and Underworld, all that shit. It's just all about the vampire killing. Cool action scenes, cool stunts. It's directed by stuntmen who worked on John Wick. So yeah, it's basically like John Wick with vampires. Really cool, fast-paced fight scenes like the Raid. I had a lot of fun with it. Some of the comedy was a little cheesy, but that's what it is. It's totally campy and corny, and just an exploitation flick. And it was a lot of fun. Again, this should have been in theaters. I would have had a blast watching this in the theaters, man. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll just say what I had thought about it. I think you're a little bit more excited about the movie than I was. It did start off. I'm just being honest. It did start off like great. It got your attention at the beginning of it. He was fighting that old lady. Like anytime you see an old lady in a sci-fi horror / fantasy, she's about to fight. That's just not even a spoiler. That just happened. And it kind of where we go with this movie is like you said, the movie is just I know you saw this movie. I just say it's every movie. It's every vampire trope ever I've seen before. Just a standard vampire movie. If you want to see Jamie Foxx kill vampires, it gives you exactly what you wanted on the box. It gives you no more and no less. It gives you that. Stunts were awesome. I give you that. They had some great stunts, and they were long, drawn out, but it was always entertaining the whole time. The best part of the movie, the scene stealers of the movie was the Naruto brothers, whatever you call them, those guys.
Oh, and they went into they were killing the house full of teens or whatever, vampire teens.
Right. That to me, that was the best part of the movie. It was just glorious killing over and over again. And on top of that, Scott Adkins was in the movie. I was like, that's Scott Adkins? I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his thing, I've always seen Scott Adkins like he's a stuntman also, but I don't never hear him talk too much. But he talks in this one. And it turns out he's actually a pretty good actor. Decent actor, at least. Yeah. I'm like, he plays in kick-ass B action flicks, like what's his name, Michael Jai White. He always plays him like the bad guy in a Michael Jai White movie. Any movie, those action movies with 3 words to them, No Way Out.
Yeah.
All alone, license to kill,
or Ray Park, the guy who plays Darth Maul and Snake Eyes.
Always in that shit.
He'll be the bad guy in a Michael Jai White movie.
So, but my thing is, if he can do all that, make him Batman. What the fuck? That's your Batman right there. Stop all this Twilight shit. I like Robert Pattinson. He's cool, but this motherfucker was Batman. He is Batman. Bruce Wayne, whole thing. He just walks in the room. You can see it. He ain't got to say who he's playing. He's just Batman. Just make Scott ask Batman. What else I liked about this movie? Jamie Foxx was Jamie Foxx. He gave you exactly what you expected. So I was entertained the whole time. Plot was predictable. Went down the road. Dave Franco got on my fucking nerves, but kind of glad. I'm glad they didn't make it a buddy comedy. He was the wacky sidekick because if this movie was made in the 90s, it would be the reverse. Dave Franco would be the hero of this movie, and Jamie Foxx would be the wacky sidekick. So I almost kind of liked it. Yeah, Chris Tucker, some shit like that. So I'm glad the role reversed on that. So I actually kind of like that. But still, he got on my fucking nerves the whole time. I was like, whatever. That's pretty much it. Every other actor in the movie, other than Megan Good, who I love Megan Good, like Megan Good.
Yeah, who the fuck is she? She's dope.
That's Megan Good. That's Megan Good, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody else, I don't know who the fuck these. Oh, Snoop. Snoop was awesome.
Yeah,
but Snoop is Snoop.
I thought he was going to be in it a little more. I was a little let down that there wasn't more Snoop. But
here's the thing: I like Snoop, but Snoop takes you out of the movie because all you see is Snoop. I don't know what it is. It's just, but you like seeing him, but you only take too much of him. So you can't he can't be in the whole movie because it takes too much of him. But he was in it enough to pepper out and pick up. Like, hey, it's Snoop. Playing a black cowboy. I'm like, okay.
With a Gatling gun.
With a Gatling gun. I'm like, okay. So he has some scene stealing moments in there. So I like that. Overall, like I said, for me, this is not a movie I remember. It's another Netflix movie. I do think it's a little bit better than the other Netflix movie. I'm trying to remember, how do we rank to The Gray Man?
I haven't even watched that.
I'm still trying. I don't know. It's like this. It's been 3 weeks, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around what rating would I give The Gray Man, and I don't know yet. But I don't know.
Well, probably not that great if you don't know.
I mean, logo is not. It's like, is it here? Is it here? It's somewhere here, But I will say this. I remember.
I will say this. Had this gone into theaters, if this movie was released into theaters, they probably would have shaved about 10 minutes off of it.
You think it was too long?
And that's the thing.
Yeah, well, it was an hour 48 minutes. So
yeah. I think it was. It did drag a tad, a few times. And I think that's just Netflix. Like, fuck it. Just do what you want.
It's on there. Yeah. Plus, they probably get more money the more people watch per minute, stuff like that. So the longer, the better.
Yeah. What's that fucking Michael Bay movie that he made that was like 5 hours?
6 rounds or round 6 or some
whatever the fuck. And it was like way the fuck long. And I'm like, fuck this. Yeah. But you're like, oh, yeah, you want to make a fucking, just don't cut it. Just give me your
plus,
director's cut.
That's kind of how Netflix can woo directors to their studio also. Like, hey, do whatever the fuck you want to. We're not cutting your shit. Just do it.
Yeah. Final cut is all yours. And here's Martin Scorsese with a 4-hour gangster movie.
And you're gonna watch every fucking minute of it. So that's my thing about it. Like, overall, I'm gonna slap a score. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was cool. I watched it. I completely forgot about it until you brought it back up again. Now I remember it again. But yeah, it's another Jamie Foxx vampire. Well, not another Jamie, because he hasn't made a bunch of them, but it's a Jamie Foxx vampire movie. It's exactly what you think it is in your head. So yeah.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because I had fun and cool ass action, and I was surprised. I didn't think it would be that good. It was cheesy and corny sometimes, but the action made up for it. Right up my
action
alley.
Was awesome. So stay for the action. The plot you won't remember.
That's all it is. You don't give a fuck about his family and the plot. Who gives a shit? It's all about ass whooping. And
I mean, they spend like 10 minutes in the beginning of the movies explaining the plot. This is what he needs to do. This is what he needs to do. Okay, move on. Start killing vampires. I'm like, okay, get that shit out the way.
Sure. Why? I don't care. Just shoot and stab some more vampires.
Right. And this movie does expect you to know vampire lore from other movies.
Yeah.
So if you've never seen a vampire movie before, you might be a little lost. But if you've seen a vampire movie before, okay, you expect this thing to happen, this thing to happen. You're standing in front of the mirror, they invisible. Okay, you expect it to happen. So let's move on. Oh, something I want to talk about. I didn't put it on the list because I just thought about it right before we started recording. I actually did watch a little bit of Sandman.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to talk about Sandman for a second. So,
I did not.
You did not. Okay. But I didn't watch the whole thing. But there's a reason I didn't watch the whole thing. Now, I watched the first because like I said, this is based on a DC comic. For those who don't know what Sandman is. But this is not, don't expect this to be some kind of superhero show. It is not that. Sandman does not fly around punching people. He does not turn into sand. This is not a Spider-Man villain. This is a whole different guy. And you watch it, it's trippy, heady. Now, the only comic I ever read was Sandman 1. And when I watched that first episode, I was impressed because that first episode was damn near word for word like that comic. I was like, whoa, this is rare when you see that happen. Most time they want to, change some shit and add some little razzle dazzle. Like, no, this was the comic thrown on screen with that first episode. Second episode was still cool. Also, you met some more DC characters popped up, like Cain and Abel, even though they're from the Bible, but they're DC characters also. John DX, Dr. Destiny, They mentioned Constantine. Now, if everybody get mad, I want you to know that Constantine is a woman in here. Constantine has been race changed. So
that's what I heard.
Don't flip out. Calm down.
I heard
I haven't made it to the part.
Death has been race changed. Well, that was the big thing, that they race changed Death, and
they race changed Death, but Death was like pasty white, chalk white in the comics. So it's like
she was a goth chick, because that was in back then.
Yeah.
Goth
so
like,
yeah, that's like she was a goth chick. So
yeah.
Change it. But like I said, I haven't made it to that part yet, so I don't know yet. But the thing is, so far, to me, the show is awesome. I'm into the show. The reason I didn't just binge watch and just go through it because it's Neil Gaiman. If you haven't read, because Neil Gaiman's hand is all over this show, just like his name was all over the comics. And Neil Gaiman throws a lot of shit in his stuff. You just can't sit back and just zone out and be like, oh, Sandman, punch somebody. This ain't that. You got to sit back and think and ponder about what's going on. Yeah, so I want to take my time. I don't want to rush through it. Yeah.
I was never a fan. That might sound shitty to a lot of people because this is like the shit to everybody, you know. I just never my thing. I couldn't get into it. I appreciate what it is. I have friends that were super into it, especially when it first dropped.
Right. I mean, people acting like this was their new religion when Sandman came out.
Yeah. But yeah, it just wasn't my thing. You know, I read some stuff. The one guy in college was super into it. And, you know, I tried giving it a whirl. I tried reading some, and I just didn't.
It's a different comic. It's a different flavor. Yeah, it's like it's a slow burn. Like the comic is tough. That's why I only read one of them fuckers, because one will take a lot out of it.
Well, yeah, and Neil Gaiman, he brings in mythology, he brings in religion, he brings in, you know, fantasy, and you know, Greek mythology, Viking mythology, everybody's mythology.
Right. And like, with Sandman, it's just like all of that shit is in here. It's just he just throwing at you, and he don't explain it. He like, if you catch it, cool, but I'm just gonna give you everything. Yeah.
And I appreciate how it's influence. It has influenced many other things that I like. The Matrix. I mean, Morpheus, you know, and some of the dream shit that, you know, all that dream shit. You know, so I appreciate its impact that it's had on comics and you know, and pop culture, but it was just never my thing. I just couldn't, you know, you know, I just couldn't get into it, you know, but that's just me. So yeah, I have not watched this show. I thought about watching it, but I've been watching Prey all week. So and then I said, I took a break from Prey and watched Day Shift.
Then we're back to Prey. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it's hard for me to recommend Sandman. So like I said, if you say, oh, it's based on a comic book, people have already this notion of what they expect it to be. You know,
it's not superheroes. Well,
it's not
really, but they have powers, they have abilities, but this isn't. They're not rescuing cats out of the tree. They're not saving the world from some big, gigantic, apocalyptic cataclysm or anything. If anything,
most of them causing it.
Yeah. I mean, it could, you know, it might hit better these days, you know.
Yeah, and Sandman has dipped his toe into the superhero side of shit. Like when Grant Morrison wrote the Justice League, Sandman was on the team. Like that Sandman. He just showed up and he was like, hey, Superman. Superman was like, hey, Sandman, you ready to go do this shit? They were just there. You know?
Do you remember the Max, that show, or it was a comic?
Yep.
I was
comic
actually,
and a show.
And a show. They made an animation out of it. But I really got into that. And that was similar, but not as deep and rich as Sandman. But they did take a jab at Sandman once. When that one, I can't remember that girl, she was talking about, you know, how death is hard and ugly, not some cute goth chick. And and I remember reading that and going, oh snap. No.
Yeah, Chief Queef, what's up? Right past the gateway to muscle bound superheroes. And I don't think it's a gateway drug to superhero shit. It may be vice versa.
It's a gateway away from it. Like,
right. Oh, gateway away. Yeah. Away from it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with that also. Because sometimes, like I said, that's the thing about comics, because people think that comics is a genre. Comics are a medium. So in a meeting, you can do anything. You don't have to just do this one thing over and all.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do. And like I said, we all have a preference. It's one thing I do like about DC over Marvel, that DC will step outside the box a few times. With Marvel, you know what Marvel's getting. And I'm talking about even before Disney bought them. Marvel superhero. Yeah. But when DC, you get different shit. Magic, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing, is he superhero? Is he not? Whatever, you know.
Did you watch the new Harley Quinn episode?
Ooh, yes. I got excited about it. John Constantine is on that one. The real John Constantine, that guy.
Yeah. So is Swamp Thing.
So is Swamp Thing.
They get in a drinking contest with. Oh man, Harley Quinn is a great show. Go watch it.
Yeah, we need to talk about Harley Quinn is a great show. That's the thing. This is so yeah. People talking about some I Am Groot. Oh, Marvel's killing with I Am Groot. Hell, DC killing Harley Quinn. Watch that shit.
But yeah, I mean, Sandman was a breakaway from like what Chief Queef was saying. It was a breakaway from men in tights, you know, saving cats out of trees and you know stopping criminals and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, that was refreshing back then. I mean, a lot of stuff was refreshing back then. You know, for me it was like
same time. But he's one of those British writers, right?
Yeah.
That's saying so like all those British writers brought like different tones and different, you know, process of thought to American comics, like Alan Moore. Like they weren't interested in superheroes. They wanted to do something. They wanted to do deconstruction.
Yeah, and that's like I reached a point like in high school, like around 16, 17, I did get bored of reading about superheroes, and Sin City was like, oh wow, comics can be about stuff that you know that doesn't involve capes.
Hard boiled, right? Yeah, nobody had superpowers in there. Yeah,
and I discovered Dark Horse, and they had aliens and Predator come. Like, holy shit, all this cool shit that I like watching movies about, and they make comics. So and Sandman and Vertigo was similar, you know, as far as like you know getting away from the superhero motif, you know. So.
Yeah, so I mean the closest thing Marvel has to that to me is Incredible Hulk. Because it's some writers that have done like some really out there shit with Incredible Hulk where you can't even really classify him as a superhero. Yeah. He runs with the Avengers and shit like that, but not really. A lot of times he's on his own, and sometimes people do classic. Donny Cates does classic superhero Hulk shit, but then you got other writers that will just step outside the box and just wait, Hulk. You can do anything with Hulk. Like he's more cerebral than the other Marvel heroes. Most people don't. They think he's just smashy smash, but you can do like out there stories with them, with the mind and all that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, or like Tom King's Vision was pretty.
Right. Yeah. Family story. Yeah. Family art. Yeah.
And even almost some like Daredevil, horror. Like some of Bendis's Daredevil shit.
Frank Miller's Daredevil. Yeah. Like you step outside the box, like you. And that's the thing. Like that's why a lot of people Daredevil is their favorite Marvel hero, because when Frank Miller started writing them, he was writing them like nobody writing comics like this. This is like hardcore. Listen, since it was basically Sin City. It was PG-13 Sin City, basically.
Yeah. You can totally see the influence of how. Yeah, you know what became Sin City, all in that all in
like it's right. He planted the seeds right there.
Same thing in Dark Knight. You can see where the Daredevil sort of were the roots to Dark Knight and Sin City. You know,
right. He was influenced by noir, which was originally in comics before the Comics Code killed that shit, and then Frank Miller just brought it back.
The Shadow knows,
right. So that's interesting, but so. That's what I'm saying. I can't really recommend Sandman. I like it, me personally. Whether somebody listening to this will like it, your miles may vary. I don't know. It's like I said, it's a different type show. It's not Peacemaker. You're not gonna go in here and laugh and get a million jokes shit like that. It ain't that. It ain't even funny. It's a hard show to recommend. I don't know. What do I like this show again?
Not even funny.
Oh man. All right, let's get to the other shit. Like you said, you were talking about Prey. You watched Prey all weekend. But you weren't the only one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
are we getting into this?
Yeah. So you sent me this.
I just had a second thought. Do I want to get into this now? We're in such a good mood.
Right, we was in a good mood. We talking about comics and having a good time, but I'm sorry, the dogs of war are already in motion. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's see what you got. So like I said, we're talking about Geeks and Gamers. I guarantee you, if you listen to this podcast, you listen to Geeks and Gamers, because they pretty much do what we do, except they're racist and They got like 100 times more followers than we do. So yeah.
Well, and I don't even know who these guys are. I never even heard of them until this week.
They're pretty big. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I guess this week, it's been a week since Prey has come out. And, just like whenever natives are in the media, there's a lot of flack. And I guess they wrote a review and they used the word squaw in, describing Naru's character. And they got a bunch of like clicks and attention. And when they found out about it, the editor actually said, yeah, we know it's a racist term, but it was racist in the past or something. I can't even wrap my head around his excuse, so it's like, when I think of like, what are you trying to say? But okay, you're not going to remove it, or you admit it's racist, but
they know what they're doing. That's the thing about Geeks and Gamers. They know what they're doing. This is not a mistake. They know that it's dog whistling. That's what they're doing. They have a certain crowd and they are talking to that crowd.
Yeah. So so that's what I've noticed since the week that Prey has been released, that, whenever natives, make their presence known in the media or pop culture, or, whenever natives get attention, there's like this counter attention. There's the, get some flack, right. Like natives, hey, we exist too. And then here comes the, but
what about
everyone, all lives exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening. I've seen a lot of it. I've seen, the squaw was one thing. I've seen Naru being referred to as Pocahontas. Yeah, Pocahontas scalps a predator. I mean,
even on Outright Geekery's fan Facebook page, which we need to get on that. I'm not over it. Am I over it? I think I am over it.
Yeah.
I need to talk to Gomer. I don't know if there might be on me. I need to get but that's we get a lot of that on the page also. So, but that's the thing. But see, like some people are saying it out of ignorance. They don't know. Maybe they don't know the term shouldn't be used. These guys are not the case. They know what they're doing. Geeks and Gamers know what they're doing, because this is not nowhere near the first time they have done this shit. They pretty much built their page off this shit. And that's the thing about it. Like we keep talking about, they're comic skaters basically. So we talk about comic skaters all the time. We talk about like how racist and assholes and sexist and xenophobic and bigoted like geeks and nerds and comic book fans are. And we want to tell ourselves that it's a minority. Like they're not the main part of the stuff we listen to. But look how big they are. I know you haven't seen a number, but you look at their page, they have huge numbers. I'm pretty sure they're in the millions. They get all kind of pages. YouTube pushes them. Facebook pushes them. The reason they push them because they get so much traffic, because they garner so much traffic. So if they're doing all these big numbers and they're doing it, are they really the vocal minority? Or are they the majority of this shit we're doing?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's scary to think about.
It's definitely out there. I mean, like I said, I've never heard of them. So until like the other day, normally because I've seen so much of it. I've seen so much of these. Yeah. Everybody's ignorance is showing this past week when it comes to Prey, right. And even people that I know, people, I mean, a lot of non-natives who do mean well, they do have this preconceived notions on native culture and like, oh, why are these natives are speaking English? Like, what the hell? Like,
right. But like Thanos can speak English and you say nothing about that.
Yeah, okay, like the dialogue is so fakey and shit. Like, what did you expect these natives to sound like? Like, what the fuck? Like, how? Me get them big wampum. Like, what the fuck were you expecting it to talk like?
Right.
It's like, and that's the thing is like, had this movie, it was originally pitched in Comanche, but the studio said no, because had it been in Comanche, there'd be so much more bitching.
Right.
This is America.
About the subtitles, right here.
Yeah, these Predator movies is fucking woke, and they're already saying it was woke trash already. Just imagine if it was only in Comanche, they would have flip their shit. This is America. We speak English here. Blah 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 blah. Fucking and so they dumbed it down and whitewashed it for y'all and you're still bitching.
Right.
You know, and that's what I'm noticing a lot lately. I mean, there's a lot of cool shit. I had a post which is still making me.
I saw that right before you got it. What is it like you probably had 1,000 shares right now.
Dude, it's over 10,000. I don't know if those numbers are right.
Yes,
I'm like,
Eli, I saw the post, not from you, from somebody else on my Facebook page that I didn't even knew you sharing this shit. I'm like, what the fuck is Eli trending on going viral for? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. Is that real? Because it's a little overwhelming. Like, really? Well, wait a second.
You're a rock star now, Eli.
There's only like 1,000 people in this group. How can there be 10,000?
It's like I said, it got shared on my page. I'm like, how the hell you know Eli? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I'm sort of focusing on that. You know, like I'm focusing on the positives about it. So when I see all the like, you know, the ignorant posts, I kind of like whatever. But you know, the fact I think what caught my attention was their excuse. You know, well, we recognize that it was a racist term in the past, but he's using it now, so it's not. Like I said, I can't understand what they're trying to say. It's like saying, writing about Harriet Tubman and calling her the N-word, and then saying, oh, well, we know that's what they called them back then, so it's okay, or something. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's basically what he's saying. He's saying racist shit to get attention. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. And so yeah,
and that's what his fan base wants to hear.
Yeah.
So
and that's what brought my attention to these guys, because I never heard of these guys.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's the thing. Like I said, this what he looks like with whatever his name is, and we try to not bring attention to these other asshole podcasts because, like I said, if you in these circles, you know who these guys are. But a lot of times, people listen to us don't know these guys. So I don't want to actually give them more numbers, you know, checking them out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah, it's been quite the week of like I said, I'm just trying to focus on the positive shit and just, you know, because it's just soaking up the moment, you know, of natives getting to see a cool character of ours, and you know, you know,
I mean, that's because the movie is out doesn't mean the work is done. So the movie's out, then that means that you, Eli, have to do the heavy lifting. That's why you got that post.
Like the other day, you know, I mean, like there's all kinds of like just ignorant stuff out there. And I'm trying, like, how much of an asshole do I want to be? You know, because I know it's the internet and I know how trolls are. I know people don't give a shit. Like if you try to educate and try to like, you know, bust out some facts, I know that there's a you know, like you said, a large number of people who don't give a shit about the facts, who don't give a shit about the truth, who don't give a shit about real history or whatever, and they're just going to shoot it down. So it's like, how far do I take it, you know? So I just kind of leave little tidbits out there, and then just, you know, that's it, you know? I mean, because there is a lot of, you know, misconceptions when it comes to Native history. Like I said, everyone thinks Billy from the first movie is the ancestor of Naru. It's like, no, they're two different tribes. Two different tribes from two different areas, speaking two different languages, different customs. They're not related. He's not her ancestor, you know? And that's just like, you know, people are so ignorant to Native culture and history. There's hundreds of tribes in this country, and we're not all the same. And like, I know rednecks love to believe that, you know, America whooped the Indians' ass and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, but no, it was centuries of disease and displacement and destruction of natural resources that you saw in prey. The bison that you saw, the fur traders.
They were destroying the environment, right?
Yeah, they slaughtered a whole herd of buffalo just for their hides, you know, because they were fur traders, you know. That was a food source. That was a main natural. That was food, clothing. You know, a lot of resources came from the buffalo for a lot of Plains tribes. You know, the forest, the scene in the forest. The fur traders burned down the forest trying to capture the predator. You know, so that's what led to genocide. It wasn't the cowboys kicked the Indians' ass and the West was won. Yeah, all those John Wayne flicks are bullshit. You know, that's not what happened. It was centuries of this shit, you know? So yeah, that's what's coming out. I'm seeing a lot of misconceptions ignorance and bigotry coming out this last week, but trying to like keep it at bay, you know, until these guys kind of came up and were like, what the fuck? What the hell? What are you talking about?
And keep in mind, these guys is tip of the iceberg. So they run with a crew. I know all their names. I'm not gonna say their names because I want to give those guys free publicity. But yeah, people know who they are. So yeah. So anyways, I'm still digging Prey. I've been watching pretty much every night since it's been on. I'll just have it in the background. So do you know Comanche now?
I do. Yeah.
Ooh, all right. So all right, now we can move on. We can move to the next part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Like I said, this Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about comic books, and we missed it last week, but we're gonna try to catch up this week. One book I didn't know that came out that I probably should have read was Black Panther, but after people are telling me, I probably shouldn't have read it because it sucks just like other books. So yeah.
I didn't read it.
Me neither.
Did you read it?
No.
Oh.
I'll get around to it eventually. Because I didn't know. I didn't know it came out. I just found out like right before we started. Like, damn, a Black Panther book did come out. But I got enough books. But Eli, I'm gonna let you go first. Let's see what you got. So.
Well, since we're still talking about Predator, I'll read Predator #1.
Okay.
By Marvel. This is the debut of Marvel's Predator series.
Really? This is the first one? It was Alien.
Alien's been, yeah. So for those who don't know, Dark Horse Comics had the rights to Predator and Aliens, and they were, publishing their comics for, a good 20 years until the Fox Disney merger of 2019. Dark Horse lost the rights. Marvel now owns the rights to Aliens and Predator, and Marvel started doing Aliens comics about a year ago, and now this is the debut of the Predator comic, just in time for the movie. So they timed it just right. So yeah, I picked it up, and it's all right. I mean, the art is really cool. We start out, it opens where you see these two predators fighting. They're, running through a forest, battling each other. And then one predator knocks off the other predator's mask. And then the other predator kind of hesitates for a sec and then cuts off its head. And then the predator takes off the mask and it's revealed to be a human woman.
Uh-oh. Woke.
And she's, it's woke. And then and she goes, damn it. And it turns out she is hunting predators. She's hunting one predator with a missing tusk. Because it turns out that her family was murdered by predators. Then we go into the flashback of when she was a girl on a planet. They're terraforming a planet. Predators come down and start slaughtering everybody. Her mom and dad get killed by the predator. During the final fight, I believe, did she cut it off or shoot it? Anyways, she did something. Oh, is her mom? Or was it her? No, it was her. When the predator was about to kill her mom, the little girl grabbed the machete and chopped at the predator's face and cut off one of its tusks. So that's what she's been doing all her life, is searching for this predator with a missing tusk to kill it.
Like going from planet to planet or something?
Yeah. Or? And throughout the book, it's revealed that, yes, she's been spending her whole life hunting predators, killing them, taking their tech, finding out their ships and the maps of all their planets they've been on, their hunting cycles, and the maps to where they hunt and all that. And she's just been going around her whole life hunting down predators, trying to find the one that killed her parents. And it's told like in flashbacks. You get flashbacks of her kid, and it's then we go to the present. It's pretty cool. I will deduct some points because there was a really long lull, like about a good 4 or 5 pages of just her talking to an AI computer. And it's just a big exposition dump. And it's just them talking. And it just stopped the momentum. And I'm like, damn, it just became just a drag to read for a little while. And then
is it information about the world, or are they just talking about whatever.
Yeah, it's exposition. You're talking about, her ship is, she needs fuel. She's running out of food. They need to stop. She's on the run. She's a fugitive. She can't go to populated planets or she'll get caught by the system or the space cops or whatever. It's shit like that. But it's just her talking. It's her talking to an AI. It's just word bubbles for like 5 pages. And it just kind of became a drag, right in the middle of the comic. So just for that, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I did like the art. I dig the story. I dig the concept of this, woman with predator tech flying around space trying to find the predator that killed her parents. I think I'm down with the story. I just thought they charged like this was a $5 comic because it had extra
the movie
pages.
did just come out, so yeah.
Yeah, it has a $5 comic. It had like 10 extra pages, and 5 of them was just them talking. That you could have utilized those pages better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on board. I'm down with the second issue, but you better not charge extra. Especially if you're gonna if you're gonna do something with those extra pages. That's all I'm saying.
Makes sense.
So 3 out of 5.
All right. Next book I'm gonna do is A.X.E. Judgment Day.
Oh,
so yeah, this came out.
This is the big event, huh?
This is a big event. Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals, everybody's favorite new superhero group. I mean, not really. But yeah, that's going on with this. So this is the second issue of this going on. Basically picking up last time where we left off is that Krakoa was getting invaded by 5 monster Eternals that Druid recruiter called the Hex. That's what they call the Hex. See, is that it's live? Yeah. So the Hex are just destroying Krakoa right now. And the X-Men have all returned to Krakoa all over the world to just fight these 5 monsters. So let's get to it. So book starts off, like I said, humans are basically divided on who they want to win. Some people want the Eternals to kill all the mutants. Some people want the X-Men to win. Some people want everybody to get along, but whatever. But anyway, the X-Men are fighting the Hex, these big monsters, and they just wrecking shit. Oh, but they got Exodus with it. For those who don't know, Exodus, like from the 90s, he was like Magneto's do-boy. But turns out he's one of the strongest X-Men or mutants they have on there, So they getting the X-Men getting the ass kicked, and they're like, we need help. And then that's when you get thunder, lightning, a photon blast, and a vibranium shield right here. So you know what that means? Da, 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 da. The Avengers are here. Yep. And the X was like, if any one of them Avengers step foot on Krakoa, I'm killing them. You don't touch foot on sacred ground. They were like, well, they outvoted you. And that's what Magic said, like, hey, Avengers, you want to kill these bastards? More the merrier. So they all down for it. So the Avengers join in, X-Men join in, they're kicking ass, stuff like that. Meanwhile, Tony wasn't there because Tony is trying to create a god. How they're doing this, they actually go into detail about how they explain it. So Avengers Mansion has a celestial built into it. So they're trying to find a way how to resurrect it. What happened is that the Celestials have been visiting Earth. So what they've done is that they have been leaving like breadcrumbs and trails of stuff they have all throughout the centuries. Like Arishem left his thumbprint there. Tiamat left some stuff there. Even Odin's destroyer armor that Arishem wrecked and folded into like origami. They took that shit. And they built a new AI. And since Tony like rode a Celestial in, was that null ends, whatever, they're like using his memory of how to control Celestial.
The Codex or whatever it was called or something like.
You remember when he rode it on Celestial to fight Null on the shit? Like a dark Celestial.
Him. I thought you meant like Null, like the contact the other Venoms. What are they called?
That guy. No, that guy.
Yeah, I know Null.
Yeah.
But no, I thought you meant that Codex that connects to all the other symbiotes.
Oh no, yeah, not
this is
that.
He's talking about how Tony controlled the Celestial. That's
he controls Celestial and rode in on it, and it was like Venom synced or whatever like that. So say like, since you know how to control, we're gonna like mind control you to figure out how to control. So they're gonna build Celestial, but they're gonna make it so the Celestial isn't crazy, because a lot of times Celestial is just crazy. They just kill everybody. So we're gonna make it in our image. We're gonna make God in our image. Tony Stark's image. But yeah, fighting now. So you got the X-Men fighting, and they finally find an opening. Exodus flies inside of the big monster and uses a telekinetic blast to just nuke the monster and any nearby mutants to just kill them also, just fuck them, you know, whatever. But it doesn't matter because it's X-Men. So they actually resurrect him 5 minutes later and he's right back fighting. You know, they're like, okay, let's go back in there and fight again. So meanwhile, okay, so the X-Men can resurrect, but the Eternals can resurrect also. But they didn't tell anybody how they resurrect. So what they do, anytime one of the Eternals died, this is how it is in the new comics run right now. They sacrifice a human. So that guy's dead. To bring back that monster. No, it was just some Russian guy or whatever. Yeah. just some random guy. He just died. Yeah. So they died and just brought him back. So yeah. So now they're fighting. Oh, and Exodus dies again. They're fighting with a guy chopped in half. They're like, oh shit, bring him back. You know. So they're still fighting. And then yeah, the same monster that Exodus just blew up and killed. Now he's back because they sacrificed a human to bring him back. So you can't kill. So as long as one human is left on Earth, you can't kill Eternals. So it's like a battle versus Immortals. So that is like, fuck the X-Men, just kill Krakoa. So they're just wrecking Krakoa and just trying to crack it in half. They're like, we kill the mountain, we kill the island, we kill everybody, you know. So Nightcrawler prays, like, please God, save us, you know, and God answers. Tony has awoken the Celestial, and the Celestial says, cease, stop fighting. He tells the Eternals on Krakoa Island to come back to Earth. Come back to home base, because whatever the Celestials say, the Eternals have to obey. It's like a genetic flaw. They can't disobey it. So they leave and they think, hey, we won. Cool, we won. And that's when the Celestial says, yeah, I'm sick of all of you. All of you are petty. All you do is fight. All you do is kill each other, war. So I'm sick of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to judge everybody on this planet in the next 24 hours individually. And if more people ain't shit versus people that are shit, I'm killing everybody in the next 24 hours. And that's why he has Arisham's thumb moving sideways, because if he goes up, we're fucked. Goes down, we're cool. And the end. So yeah, so Tony Stark just created a killer god. So yeah.
All right.
The end. Yeah. So I like it. It's like I said, it's a lot of stuff. I skipped over a lot of stuff because it's a lot of stuff in these Eternal books, but that's pretty much going on right now. So the story is cool. It's getting there. I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Is this number 1?
This is number 2.
Oh, it's number 2. Okay.
Yeah, we're smack dabbing this shit. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what you got?
I guess I'll do Ghost Rider, Vengeance Forever, the one shot.
Ghost Rider. Let's see.
Motorcycle Hero. So this is another $5 book.
Damn. Marvel gonna get that money.
32 pages too. But this is really cool though. Actually, it's still Benjamin Percy. You know, he's doing the new series that I've been digging on. I've been reading it. But this is Juan Jose R.I.P. Is that his name? Doing the art. And the art is dope. The art is dope. Was it Brian Valencia doing the colors? The art is dope. This is just a one shot, and it's sort of like a celebration of 50 years of Ghost Rider. So it's like a kind of an anniversary issue, almost like an annual. And it just takes a break from the current canon that's going on right now. But it's just Johnny Blaze goes to, what's this guy's name? Necro the Tattooist. I never heard of this guy.
I never have either.
Yeah, Necro the Tattooist. He's like a magic tattooist. His tattoos bring out the darkness in you or something. So that's what he does.
He's a ripoff of the Tattooed Man on DC. Okay. I guess.
I've never heard of him. So I was like, is this an old guy? And I didn't bother Googling.
He's like a Black Lightning villain or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So Johnny Blaze goes to get tattooed from this Necro guy, and it basically starts bringing out all his past. And so this is where we get the celebration of Ghost Rider all through the years. We get scenes from all the times in history back in the Old West when he first started, when he was on the horse. You know,
the Phantom Rider.
Yeah, we get some of that. We get back, when he was just, straight up ghost Johnny Blaze cruising around doing shit.
Did they show the champions?
We have some Danny Ketch. Danny Ketch.
Yeah.
The cool scene where he walks into a bar and fucks the whole bar up, and then finds Blackout and ends up dragging him. He puts his chains around Blackout and ends up dragging him with the motorcycle. That was kind of cool. It shows Vengeance, the character Vengeance, that one cop that became a Ghost Rider.
Right. You get like super good. He was like Ghost Rider's Venom. He was like the Venom, the Ghost Rider.
And then he ended up joining the team and shit. He ended up becoming a good guy.
Of Midnights and
the Midnight Suns. We get some Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider.
Okay.
We get some of that. And then we go the futuristic Ghost Rider, the 2099. What was it? 24. What was it?
He rode in space and shit. And
2099. Yeah, we get the futuristic Ghost Rider. We even get Cosmic Ghost Rider at a couple of panels. Just sort of like So it's just a celebration.
Some people claim that Donny Cates ripped off that 2099 Ghost Rider with Cosmic Ghost Rider because they said they're way too similar. But yeah.
Isn't it Frank Castle though?
Well, yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider is Frank Castle, but Ghost Rider 299 is somebody else. But they both ride in space and shit. So
okay, yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, it's just a celebration of Ghost Rider and different times in Ghost Rider history. The art is really cool. It was fun. I really dug this. I'll give it a 4.5. Fuck it, 5 out of 5. This might be my book of the week. Okay. It was, even though it's just a one shot. It takes a break from the normal canon of the regular story arc going on. It's just a breather,
and it catches you up. Yeah, it's a Ghost Rider mixtape. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. You get the history of Ghost Rider in one book. Really cool art, So yeah, I really dug on it, And it was $5, and yeah, I didn't feel ripped off.
No problem. And because nobody asked, they want to know who is Blackout and why is Blackout not in Marvel Comics anymore. The reason you haven't seen him because in that Secret War comic, when he blacked out New York, Maria Hill snuck in and put 2 bullets in the back of his head. Boom, that was dead. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'll be back, but whatever. Next book I'm going to review is DCEASED.
Okay.
Now, Eli, you haven't been keeping up. You don't keep up with
DCeased. I haven't read DCeased in a while.
Yeah. Okay, this is supposed to be the last one. That's what they're saying. So they say after this, this is the last run of the series. Supposed to go out with a bang with this one. Honestly, I don't remember what happened with the last DCeased, but it kind of just picks up and runs, just go from here. So let's just start. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's get them in there. And you got Darkseid versus the new Justice League 2.0. Or not even Justice League, the Trinity. But anyway, let's get to it. The book starts off actually in the past with Supergirl, basically showing how Supergirl came, how she escaped Krypton and her parents, Zor-El, whatever his name was, they get her in the ship. They're like, you got to leave. Krypton's about to explode. Brainiac is about to eat us, So, and she escapes. And she leaves right before Krypton gets destroyed. But they don't send it to Earth. They send it to New Genesis. They send it to the New Gods. Because while we send you to Earth, you can send you to a place where everybody has powers like you. You just fit in normally. Meanwhile, your cousin KAL-EL is going to go to those backwater planet with the primitives, but you are going to be with the New Gods. So she arrives there, and all the New Gods are zombies because it's a zombie book, So they attack her, and that's last we see of Supergirl for now. I'm pretty sure she'll be back, but they don't show the rest of it. So, yeah. And we're cut up. And yeah, so Damon's just saying, I'm coming with you. Who is he talking to? He's talking to Superman, John Kent, and Cassandra, whatever her name is, the new Wonder Woman, the blonde chick. I can't remember her last name. He's like, you can't go to space, Damon. He's like, I'm Batman. We're going to the center of the sun, but I'm Batman. I can come, He's like, you can't come. And the reason they're going to the center of the sun, because they found a cure. In the last book, they found a cure for the zombies. So now they can revert people back to regular people.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah. I vaguely remember this, yeah.
Yeah, the last book. So they're going to rescue Superman, the OG Superman, KAL-EL. So the last time we saw him, he got his arm chopped off and he went in the sun. Now he's eating the sun. So now they're like, okay, we got to get him out of there. And they were like, he's not your father, Father John. You got to be careful. He's like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm going in there and save my dad. So he goes into the sun himself and he flies in there. But the thing is, Superman, KAL-EL has been sun dipping for 5 years. So he's way stronger than he's ever been before. And he starts kicking the shit out of everybody. You know, like Green Arrow, he just goes through that shit. Everybody tries to pin him down. It takes all of them to barely get him down. They finally like hit him with the cure. And you see him later on and he's cured. And they even gave him like an arm. Where is he? So he boomed to his back and they gave him like a metal arm. Where they got the metal arm from, I don't know. They may say it later on. And not only did they rescue Superman, they also rescued Clark Kent because he was also zombified. So they brought him back. He was like, hey, I'm back. Hey, Martha. You know. So yeah. So now they find the cure. Damon's just like, well, I got to tell Alfred what happened. He ain't gonna like what I got to tell him, but I got to tell him. So Damon tells he tells Alfred. But the thing is, Alfred shot all of them with a shotgun. Bruce, Tim, Dick, Nightwing, all of them. He shot them all. So there's no cure for a shotgun blast. And he was like, man, if I was just waited, we wouldn't have found a cure. But I killed my sons. And he starts crying. I'm like, that's Tom Taylor always got you cutting onions, you know. But yeah, so anyway, Brainiac is invading. He's about to destroy everybody. But since it's two Supermen and KAL-EL has been Sunday for 5 years, he is way stronger than he was before. So they just run through the Brainiac people.
Are those and then, robots, right?
Yeah, Brainiac robot. Yeah. They're just robots. They're not. Yes. So because Brainiac zombies. Is about to. Yeah, they're not zombies.
Robot zombies.
They're not robot zombies. I don't think that. Though they might be. I don't know.
They're not
but they run through. Yeah, they're not Deathlock, not evil cyborgs like that. So they run through them, and then both the Superman, because there's not two Supermen on Earth, and it's just like, well, let's go see what Brainiac's doing, you know, because he's right there, and he goes in there, and they see Brainiac, and he is, I don't think he's zombified, but they ripped him in half. Who ripped him in half? I don't know who. They said the gods. Oh yeah, he said the gods did this. The gods are coming. All the gods are zombies, and they're gonna kill everything, and nothing you can do to stop it. KAL-EL or your son. To be continued. So that's the book. So, like I said, this is supposed to be the big grand finale of the DCEASED thing. I kind of want to see where it goes. Honestly, I thought they already fought the gods on the last book, but they're gonna fight them again. So, okay, Zombie Spectre. Give me that. Give me Zombie Spectre. I'm in for it. But yeah. So, yeah. What you got?
Well, shit. Since we're doing DC, I'll switch to DC. I'll do Jurassic League.
Okay.
Wrong app. Jurassic League number 4, is it?
Jurassic League number 4.
Yeah. So this is just how it sounds. It's the Justice League, only they're dinosaurs. So you get to see dinosaur versions of everybody. And so this is written by Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm a big fan. He did Murder Falcon and the Beta Ray Bill book, Wonder Woman Dead Earth. He's do a Power Bomb, which I'm reading right now. He did Extremity, bunch of cool shit. I'm a big fan of him. I love his art style. However, he's only writing this and doing the covers. Not to say that the art is bad.
I know you wanted the art also, but you wanted his signature style.
Yeah, he's doing the covers, but he's not doing the inside. The art isn't bad. I'm not shitting on the art. I'm just saying I wish Daniel Warren Johnson was doing this, but he's doing so much other shit. Right? He usually does write and does the art to all his books. He's always doing double duty, so takes a break from this one. But this is just stupid fun. It's the Justice League as dinosaurs. Kind of like an origin story. All these dinosaur superheroes are meeting each other for the first time. You have Super Sor, which is the Superman dinosaur raised by cavemen. So he knows what humanity he knows what about humanity and has a lot of humanity. We have Batasaur,
civilized dinosaur.
Civilized dinosaur who can be empathetic to humans. Batasaur, of course, is the Batman. You have Wonder Dawn, I think her name is. It's the Wonder Woman dinosaur. You have the Aqua Aqua something, the Aquaman dinosaur. I can't remember all their names. The Green Hornet or Green Hornet, Green Lantern, Green Lantern dinosaur, and yeah. So basically, they're fighting Atrociosaurus, you know, and
Atrocitus,
and the Joker Dactyl or whatever, and the reversed Flashosaurus or whatever, because they're trying to there's an egg that's deep within the bowels of the earth that they're trying to like hatch. They're trying to hatch this dark egg full of all this dark energy and shit, and all the and in this issue they're trying to hatch it. Aquaman's trying to like destroy it. We have a heart-to-heart with Supersaurus and his caveman dad, about, you know, how he wants to protect everybody, and the caveman dad says, no, you're meant for great things, we'll be okay, you should help these other superpowered dinosaurs such as yourself, you know. So it's like a little, you know, the Ma and Pa Kent talking to Clark shit. It's nothing you haven't seen before, you know. It's just another Justice League story, only they're all dinosaurs. They're in Metropolis. That's the name of the city. At the end of the book, the egg hatches and out pops. What do they call them again? Out.
I feel like it's Plastic Man. It's Plastic Man, isn't it?
No, it's Darkyloside.
Oh, not Dark Side. Dinosaur Dark Side.
Dinosaur. I wish I should. Here's the image.
Hold on. Let me blow you up. Let me get in there.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he's
like a Stegosaurus kind of.
He's an Ankylosaurus. That's how I refer. He's an Ankylosaurus. They look like armadillos.
Yeah, the one with the tail, the spiky tail.
Yeah, the spike had a bunch of like bumps and armor all over its back. So
yeah, okay.
So it's Darkyloside. I had to Darkyloside. That's who hatches from the egg, and that's what it says to be continued.
Darkyloside is
Dark. Yeah, it's just stupid fun. So yeah, so yeah, I give it 4 out of 5. I've read 4 issues so far. There's only 2 more. I might as well finish.
Well, hang on, write it out, see what's happening. Yeah. All right. So next book I got is KAL-EL, Son of Superman, number 14.
Oh,
did you read
this? I read this.
Yes. Cool. Okay, just making sure. Like I said, this is picking up the storyline from left off. I'm trying to see where is that picture. I think it's there. Let's pretend like it's that. Okay. Yeah. So picking up where it left off. So KAL-EL, well, not KAL-EL, son of KAL-EL, Jonathan is going to, they're doing an all-out assault. They're about to invade Gamora. They're about to just go in there and take it down because they think they got enough evidence to do it. So first thing when we start off, we got Superman's mom, Lois Lane. You know, she's now working for that podcast, The Truth. So she has her own podcast. She basically saying everything that happened, telling everything that happened, how evil this country is, Gamora. Now everybody knows. If the president didn't know, like, come on, Biden, you're supposed to know this stuff, you know. He's got evidence. They basically have businesses all over the world, and President Bennett's just like, you know what? I don't care. Anyway, let's switch to defensive mode, just in case somebody want to try some shit. So he puts a defensive shield all over the country, so nobody can get in and grab, you know. And like say, okay, now we wait and let's see what happens. So that's when we cut to those guys, those terrorists that were helping them, or those revolutionaries, what it's called, the revolutionaries. Eli, remember this guy, Zebra Man? The guy that got his dick bit off in that Watchmen book, or bit somebody's dick off?
I do now.
Anybody that's been listening to this podcast long enough, try to answer the question whether he got his dick bit off or did somebody bite his dick off. I can't remember which one, but it's on one of those
dick
episodes.
Biter or dick bitey.
Right. They don't say in this book, but we say before. Yeah. So he meets all the revolutionaries, and they're basically just saying, you know, they're like, you're Superman. Why don't you just go in and just knock the thing down? He like, because I don't know what they have over there. For all I know, that thing might be rigged to stop me. Like I said, this is Bendix, and he's working with Lex Luthor. So whatever I do, they're probably ready for me. Plus, they got a kryptonite gas man over there right now. Like, how you know about that? I dreamed it. Like, you dreamed it? Yeah, from the Dreamer, because the Dreamer's with the team too. So yeah, they're like, don't ask any questions. So basically, just like, and basically, yeah.
Yo, is it a Dreamer from Sandman?
No, not Dreamer from Sandman. I don't think she's even related to Sandman. This is just a Supergirl character, but yeah, it's a lot of dream people going on, but yeah. But yeah, so basically Jonathan is telling everybody, look, if I'm bringing you revolutionaries on this attack with me, you can't kill anybody. Nobody dies because Bendix is mind controlling these people. And then like the big revolutionary just says, look, if one of those big monsters come for me, I'm killing them. That's just what it is. You're like, no, the fuck you not. I'm Superman. So if you do that shit, I'm stopping you. You're like, look, this is war. You're like, I don't care if it's war. If you're not good enough to stop these people without killing them, then maybe you're not good enough to come with us. You know, they're like, ooh, Superman burned you, and he even used heat vision, you know. And that's what it's like, look, and that's when you hear a voice in the background saying, y'all better listen to Superman before he fuck you up. And that's when Damian Wayne, and he's like, Jonathan, how the hell you gonna invade a country without me? You know. So then Jonathan hugs Damian at super speed, because in that dream that Dreamer sent him, Damian had died also. So he's like, I'm glad to see you again. So, you know. So then, okay, so everybody's ready to go to war, and they go. But before they do that, Superman and Jay go to the Fortress of Solitude. And what Superman is doing, he's giving, because he's like, since your identity has been exposed, I'm giving you a super suit. So you can have superpowers now, because I got to have you if you're going to be in the field with me, I need to make sure I can trust you. So then he hands him a ring. He's like, don't you need to get on your knees for that ring? You're like, no, it's not that type of ring. It's a Legionnaire ring from the 31st century or whatever. So that way he can fly. So now he has the power to fly now. So he gives it to him, gives him a super suit so he can protect him a little bit. And basically the plan is he's going to drop him in that bubble of Gamora so he can deactivate it, and then we can send in Superman and the Revolutionary Army. But Johnson like, I can't drop you. I'm used to catch people. I can't drop people. He's like, don't worry, I'll drop myself for you. So he phases himself through John's arms and just falls, you know. But while he's falling, he's like, well, I got the Legionnaire ring, so I can just phase through the wall and I can fly. But the thing is,
I gotta say that panel of John, like, oh shit, concerned.
Yeah, because he's not used to dropping people. Yeah,
that was touching. I gotta say, just that panel right there. He's away.
Yeah, because he's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah,
I can't help him. He's got to do this, and I gotta wait, and hopefully he's gonna be okay. That was a good panel.
It was a good panel because he's just like, he's on his own, because it's hard for Superman, because Superman has a hero complex. KAL-EL, Jonathan, whoever is Superman. So watching people that he can't help, it hurts him, you know. But the thing about, you know, Jay is that he if he flies, he has to be solid. In order to phase through stuff, he can't fly. So he can only use one power at a time. And I thought that was pretty clever. So he sees bad guys, he just faces them, just walks through them. And Jonathan seeing the whole thing with his X-ray vision, telescopic vision, but he can't help him. You know,
yeah.
So he gets there and he sees all the guys protecting the bubble shield, and he just like, well, why don't you just ask them to turn it off? Like, okay, well, y'all turn it off? They were like, sure. Well, y'all please kill Bendis for me. Like, yeah, and that's it. So they deactivate the bubble, and that's when the rest of the guys come in. So that's when Superman comes in, Revolutionaries come in, Damien comes in, they're just kicking ass. So yeah, Revolutionaries, Dreamer comes in. I forgot about Dreamer. And that's when Dreamer gets another premonition, just like, oh shit, you need to go save Jay right now. Go find him. And he goes in there, and that's when Jay busts through the wall and he sees Jay. He's like, oh shit. And that's when we get his mother is like the main guy, or main villain that Bendis is sending after him. So yeah.
Yeah.
Which it was
set up. I thought it was Lois. That was Lois.
Right, like it's right, wrong mother.
Yeah.
So yeah, the book is going on. Like I said, I'm loving what Tom Taylor's doing with Jonathan. He's making Jonathan his own character. This is stuff that, you know, you can't see KAL-EL doing. You can't see Clark doing this, but you can see Jonathan doing this. He's making these characters have their own personality, and I'm liking that. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Shoot, what did you got next?
Well, my last book I got is Han Solo. I didn't save any. What am I doing? I didn't save any images.
The theater of the mind. You just...
I was about to pull up an image. I don't even have any images. So this is number 5, Han Solo and Chewbacca. This is like takes place between like before episode 4, before A New Hope. And it's about Han and Chewie's smuggling days, back when they were working for Jabba, doing crimes, doing dirt, smuggling, you know. And they get hired by Jabba to go find the urn, which contains the ashes of one of Jabba's rivals. And that's basically what's been going on. And it turns out they weren't the only ones Jabba hired. So there's all these other smugglers trying to find it. At one point, they go to Corellia, which is Han Solo's home planet, meets an old man that says he's his dad. So they have a reuniting of sorts. And the dad ends up joining them on the heist. They end up backstabbing Greedo. Yeah, Greedo had to come along with because he knew the place where the urn was at. Han Solo ends up backstabbing Greedo and ditches him on the planet. Black Chrysanthemum shows up at one point and starts fighting Chewie, kidnaps Han, and Chewie has to go rescue him. There's a big old fight, and they escape. So this picks up them escaping where Han was being held captive. And they shoot their way out. They end up getting picked up by another crew of criminals led by Tonga, who appears in the Bounty Hunter books. And Greedo is with them. Like, you know, they have Greedo with them, and Greedo's all pissed at Han for ditching him and shit. And they basically say, you know, hey, where's the urn? We're here to get the urn. He's like, I ain't got the urn. Some guy that says he's my dad took it, stole my Falcon, stole the Millennium Falcon, and took off with the urn. You know. So they say, well, we might as well just kill you right now because you're useless to us. You don't got the urn. They say, wait, I do know where he is. And I put a tracker on the guy. And it turns out, you know, that guy, they tell him, that guy that says he's your dad, he's not your dad. He's actually a con man. And I forget his name. What the hell is his name? Corbrus Tyra. I don't know. I don't know who this is. I've never heard of this guy. I don't know. And I didn't bother Googling if
so you don't know if he's supposed to be somebody.
If like he's supposed to be some. I've never heard of him, but he's some famous criminal who basically pulled a one over on Han and said he was his dad, stole the urn and the Millennium Falcon, and now took off to go, you know, cash in on it. Han Solo's like, I knew he wasn't my dad. I didn't trust him, but that's why I put a tracker on him. So I know where he is. He's on this whatever planet. And then right when that happens, the guards come out and start shooting and they have to shoot their way out. You know, they shoot their way out. Chewie gets shot. He gets stunned and he gets arrested. And Han's like, we ain't leaving without Chewie. He said, well, we know where we're going. We know you told us where the urn is and where the guy who says is your dad, where he went. So we really don't need you. And Greedo shoots Han. Straight up shoots him.
Shoots him. Okay.
And they're like, oh, damn, you just killed Han Solo. So he's laying there with a bullet or a laser in his gut. And then we cut to Chewie going to jail. He's in some space jail. He's in a prison. He passes by Ezavon and Ponda. Remember those two guys in the cantina in the first movie, and Obi-Wan cuts off the dude's arm and shit. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like you. I have a death, you know, those guys. He run into them.
I don't like you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like you either. Yeah, those guys. He runs into them, but he's in jail. And then he heard, you know, Chewie's in like a cell and he's like screaming, pounding on the walls. And you hear, Chewbacca, you know, how'd your handsome self end up here? And it's
Lando.
No, it is.
No? Okay.
I'm trying to get the one panel. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We get that? Oh, crap. Here we go. It is, what's her name? Maz? What's her name again?
Maz
Kanata or something?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, her.
Okay.
that's
right, because she knew Chewie. Yeah, okay.
And I remember she said, that's my boyfriend. I like that Wookiee. So now they're in jail. Wookiee? They're in jail together now.
That's how they get to know each other. Chewie like, look, what happened then stays there.
That's just jail, yeah.
Right.
This is just distinctly, yeah. So yeah, this is like I said, I've been having fun with this. It's just Han and Chewie, you know, doing crimes, you know, in the Star Wars universe, and it's just fun. I've been having fun with it. It's a crime caper, you know, outlaws in, you know, in space. So I give it another 4 out of 5. I had fun with this, and I'm still digging the story. So
cool. All right. Well, I'm booked out, so I don't know if you.
So am I.
Cool.
I didn't read Black Panther.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was out.
Panther. I'm pretty sure it sucks, so that's no reason to read it. All we're gonna do is make ourselves mad.
I mean, I would have. I just didn't. This comicsology, man. The way you got to like,
you got to find, you got to look for it. I'm starting to get familiar with how to look for it, but I didn't do the search that I normally do. I just expect it to just be on the front page, and you expect that you're not gonna find shit. So
yeah,
that's how it is. So we'll get better. We're learning. Yeah, because comicsology isn't going to get better. It's just going to stay the way it is. They don't give a shit. So yeah.
I know it's a pain in the ass now. You got to like select and then go to Amazon to find your lists, and it's
right. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah. Yeah. If you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Like I said, next week She-Hulk drops. So yeah. I will watch some more Sandman. I'll talk some more about Sandman. See what I think about that. I might even read some more Sandman comics. I will not review a Sandman comic on here. Don't worry. I will not do it. I don't want to do the whole episode on one issue, you know. Yeah, until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.